Good morning, my friends. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I was just sitting outside this morning hearing a lot of sounds that they are building something next door. And so the sounds just took me back to Lebanon because there was always buildings going on, always sounds of trucks and workers. And Lebanon is just full of people that are working hard. And I just love those sounds because it takes my memory back. And our memory is an incredible thing. The Lord has given us our memory, but we need to be in control of every thought, it says, to take it captive to the obedience of Christ. Because you can start your memory going, and you can start here, and then all of a sudden you're on a battleground. You're in a peaceful place, and you go to a battleground in just a moment with our minds. And so this morning, as I was thinking of Psalms 1, which is such a beautiful Psalms, and we learned it by heart in Armenian when we were growing up and said it all the time. And in fact, yesterday I was on FaceTime with my brother Samik and my mom because they have singing time on Thursday nights, and sometimes I join them. And we had one of these verses come up, and it's just so incredible. It says, Psalms 1, "Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. In his law that he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he does, it shall prosper." This is such a promise of the Lord, that when we don't go to the counsel of the ungodly, when we don't sit with sinners to consider things with them and do it the same way, and when we don't sit with scorners, those that are making fun of things that are so precious to our hearts, about the word of the Lord and the Lord. So it says, "Blessed is the man that walks not, does not do these things, but his delight and trust is in the law of the Lord." His delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law, in his word, doth he meditate day and night. That is how the Lord wants us to live, and that is when we get his blessings, because it says, "For the Lord knows the way of the righteous." He knows, he watches us when we consider his word so precious. Because in Numbers, there is a few verses here in chapter 15, "And the Lord said to Moses, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments." They were supposed to make fringes in the end of their garments so that they would think about the ways of the Lord, and that they would remember all that the Lord had done, because that's what it says in those verses from 37 to 41 in chapter 15 of Numbers. And today, the Lord said, "I will write my words in your heart." So we have to remember it. We have to speak them. We have to think about them. And as I was sitting here this morning, I was thinking, so many fears come into our hearts in a moment. So many worries come into our minds in a moment. You think about a situation and your mind goes to worry about it. And I thought, let's just breathe in God's grace, remind ourselves. When you are reminding yourself, you are breathing it in. When you are speaking it, when you are praying about it, you are just breathing out the anxiety, the fear, the worry that comes so quickly into our lives. And the Lord is giving us a way in his word that we can meditate on his word day and night. So when we remember it, yes, they had to wear it on the borders of their clothes. Well, we can wear it in our houses. I had two grandfathers that just so blessed us with their lives. They were orphans because they had gone through the genocide, and God miraculously had protected their lives. And both of them, my grandfather Boaz, who is Paul in English, and my grandfather Samuel, my mom's dad and my dad's dad, both taught us God's word. And you know what? They daily Every time we were around them, they were reminding us of God's word. They were the reminders. And then it said grandfathers will teach grandchildren, and they will speak of it when we sit down, when we stand up. And this is what my grandparents did daily. So now it has passed on to me. It was passed on to my mom and my dad, and then they passed it on to me. I'm passing it on to my children, and they are passing it on to their grandchildren, our grandchildren. And the Lord, his word is what's going to bring us prosperity. It's going to walk us in the ways of the Lord. Not prosperity as how the world sees, but I'm talking about having his joy. I'm talking about having his comfort, his peace in our life as we meditate on his words day and night. And it says, you will be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, and your fruit will give in the season. You will bring fruit in your season, and it will not wither, but whatsoever you do will prosper. You want that today? You want to walk in the ways of the Lord in prosperity, in where you are doing things and the Lord is blessing it. You are walking in your way and the Lord is blessing you with his joy, his peace in the midst of your situations this morning. This is God's truth, and it never changes. Blessed is the man, and it says, for the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the ungodly shall perish. So we want the Lord's eyes on us this morning, and we just consider his ways our delight this morning. May the Lord bless you today.